Hello, Eddie. We are Venom. Welcome to the Complete Story series, where we take trade paperbacks and single issues and we turn them into audiobooks for you to enjoy. The idea behind this is that we can tell you the story of us, Venom, and we can explain how it all works in current continuity so that you can go buy the next issues with an audiobook told to you by Venom. Today, we're going to be continuing what happened to Carnage after he was revived, because he is here to mess with Venom. And Venom currently has no mind. His mind has been broken when he sacrificed himself to save Eddie from Null, the god of the symbiotes. Well, what's going to happen when Venom finds all of what Carnage has been doing? How will he tell Eddie? Enjoy. After nearly dying in a fight with the symbiote god Null, Venom no longer has a personality or a voice. And without even a mind of its own, Venom subconsciously has been trying to protect Eddie and bring him back to his childhood home in San Francisco. As Eddie tries to make sense of all of this, Venom is now reduced to nothing more than a hulking dog trying to keep his host safe. Night begins to set in over the old shoddy motel as the vacancy light flickers on. Inside of the office, voices can be heard stating, "Edward Brock," as a pair of mindless men reach for the keys to Eddie's room. These men's eyes are red like when Null took over someone, but this infection is different. The men shuffle their way to Eddie's room while he's sleeping, and just like a dog protecting its owner, Venom wakes up to hear them. The men put the key in the lock to open up the door, but before they can turn it, the key falls out of the knob. The men stare at the key, confused, and they try again. This time, the key is pushed back out, and behind it is Venom lashing out through the keyhole at the men. Venom bites down on one of them, but as he listens, he can hear the faint laughter of a madman. Venom pauses as he takes in the scent, and once he knows where it's coming from, he jumps down and he follows the trail. The dogs begin to growl and bark, and as they do, Venom opens his mouth, chomping down on one of them. He begins to grow in size, screaming at the dogs, causing them to whimper and whine. But as Venom listens, it can hear the same laughter coming from inside of their minds. He heads into the sewers, following the trail, passing by even more infected men, and then a man in a large metal suit begins to loom over him. Before Venom could react, a second suit appears, grabbing him, asking, "Brock?" Venom turns into a goopy liquid mess to escape the man's grip. But as he attacks, the first suit activates its sonic evacuators, and it blasts Venom into thousands of pieces. The two turn, but when they're not looking, Venom reforms, seeping into one of the suits. The suit falls, and when the second man looks closer at his friend, Venom bursts out through the helmet at him. The man tries to hit Venom with another sonic blast, but this time Venom separates his body to avoid being hit. He jumps through the glass, knocking the man down, but as he comes back out, he can hear the other man calling for help. Venom looks at that man and then notices a small red worm wiggling out of its nose. Venom sniffs the worm and he can hear it. He can hear the thing that he's been dreading. The laughter of Cletus Cassidy. The other man starts to get back up, asking Venom not to hurt his friend, but Venom opens his mouth, wrapping his tongue around the worm, pulling it out. He then takes it and jumps down, with the men beginning to ask each other, "What was that? Worms?" They look over and they see the other men and they call out to them, and when they get no response, they figure that the worms must have got them too. One man then asks, "What do they do now? How do they fix this?" And the second man says that it was a dog. He extracted the one in their heads. First man says that he vaguely remembers hitting him with a sonic blast. Maybe that helped loosen the worm's hold. With a shot, right? Venom follows closely behind the two men as they follow their friends, and as they arrive at the source of it all, they see a red mutated pillar in the middle of the street. Scribbled all around it are the words, "God is Carnage. God is here." One of the men tells Venom that they will try to clean things up, but he needs to round up as many members of the community as he can and extract those worms. Can he do that? Venom barks in agreement and he runs back into the mines. A short while later, back at the motel, Eddie wakes up when he hears scratching coming from his door. He looks out the peephole. When he doesn't see anything, he opens it up, asking, "Hello?" Sitting there, wagging his tail, is Venom. Eddie looks around at the blood all around the door and he asks what happened. Venom begins to hack, and as he begins to throw up something, a pile of red worms fall out of his mouth. Eddie asks, "What is that?" No. Where did you find this? Did you see him? Venom sits down and Eddie tells him, come on, if you're ever gonna talk, now's the time, please. You can't, I know, I'm alone. Carnage is coming and I'm going to have to face him alone. Eddie looks at the pile of worms and he pets Venom. Good dog. Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy finding out what's going on with Carnage? Well, if you subscribe to the channel, you'll be up to date as to what is happening with Venom. And you'll get to say the slogan that I get to say all the time. We are Venom! If you enjoy my style of bringing you comic books, then you're probably going to enjoy today's sponsor, as it's been brought to you by Audible. Audible is a great way to find and listen to many audiobooks. Audible is perfect for listening to a book during your commute to work, when you go for a run or work out, or when you fly for business like I do. Audible has the largest selection of audiobooks on the planet. And if you go to www.audible.com/Comicstorian or text Comicstorian to 500 you get a free book, 2 Audible originals, and a free 30-day trial. Audible originals are a part of 6 titles that change monthly and can't be heard anywhere else. Being as busy as I am, audiobooks make it super easy to get things done and listen to a great story at the same time. Last month, to listen to while I do my workouts early morning, I got The Witcher: The Last Wish with my Audible book of the month, and I've really been enjoying it. So go on over to www.audible.com/Comicstorian or text Comicstorian, that's COMICSTORIAN, to 500 to get a free book of your choice, 2 Audible originals, and a 30-day trial. Please consider giving this video a like, hitting subscribe, and turning on that little bell of notifications, and you'll get to see the cringe whenever you want. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time, right here at Comicstorian.